The Mystery of the Rainforest. Simi's family lived deep in the rainforest, right by the wide and beautiful Amazon River. They grew pineapples on their small farm, surrounded by tall trees and the sounds of nature. The forest always felt alive with animals and birds. One hot day, Simi was tired from helping her parents. She sighed as she looked at the forest.
Mama, can I play for a little while, please?
She asked. Her mother smiled and said,
Yes, you've worked hard today. But don't go too far into the forest. It can be dangerous.
Excited, Simi ran into the trees. She loved the cool shade and the soft ground under her feet. She climbed up her favorite tree and sat on a big branch, feeling the breeze on her face. Suddenly, she heard a strange noise above her. Before she could look up, a bright, golden fruit fell from the canopy.
Hey!
Simi cried, surprised. She grabbed the fruit and took a bite. It was sweet, juicy, and delicious. As she ate, she noticed more golden fruits falling ahead, making a trail into the forest. Curious, Simi climbed down and followed the trail, picking up the fruits as she went. The trail went on and on, leading Simi deeper into the forest. She was so busy collecting the fruits that she didn't notice how far she had walked. When she finally stopped, she looked around. The trees were different here, taller, darker, and unfamiliar. Simi realized she was lost. She called out,
Who's there? Can anyone help me? I'm lost.
The forest was quiet, except for the rustling of leaves high above. Her tummy rumbled, so she sat down and ate some of the golden fruit. It made her feel a little better, but she was still scared.
It's getting dark.
She thought.
I must have walked for hours.
Suddenly, the rustling above grew louder. Simi stood up and asked nervously,
Is somebody there?
At that moment, a troop of spider monkeys swung down from the trees. They landed gracefully in front of her, but something magical happened. They began to change. Their arms and legs turned human, and each of them wore a colorful monkey mask.
A real human,
One of them said, tilting his head.
Why are you here?
I'm lost.
Simi said, trying to stay calm.
Can you help me get home?
It's getting dark.
One of them said,
We're going to a feast. Come with us, and we'll help you tomorrow.
Having no other choice, Simi followed the spider monkey people deeper into the forest. They moved quickly, laughing and swinging from branches. Simi had to run to keep up. Before long, they arrived at a large clearing. In the middle stood a hut covered in vines and flowers that glowed faintly in the firelight.
When you meet the Lord of the Rainforest, tell him we invited you.
One of the monkey people whispered. Inside the hut, there was music, dancing, and laughter. Humans wearing monkey masks played drums, swayed to the rhythm, and ate from bowls of colorful fruits. In the center of the hut sat a large man on a wooden throne. He wore a jaguar mask that sparkled with gold and emeralds. He looked powerful and mysterious. The man gestured for Simi to approach.
"What are you doing here, little human?"
He asked in a deep voice.
The spider monkey people invited me.
Simi said bravely.
"You may stay,"
He said.
"but first, get me a drink."
Simi poured him a drink from a nearby jug, but as she handed it to him, she felt a tug on her ankle. She looked down and saw that one of the spider monkey people had tied a vine around her leg.
"Now you'll make a fine dinner for me,"
said the Lord of the rainforest. He took off his mask, and Simi gasped. He wasn't human at all. He was a real jaguar. Simi tried to run, but the vine pulled her back. She wished she had never left her parents' farm. As the Jaguar Lord watched the dancers, a small tortoise slowly walked over to Simi. It, too, was tied to a vine.
"Quick!
The tortoise whispered.
Use the edge of my shell to cut the vine. Then free me too."
Simi worked quickly, sawing through the vine with the tortoise's tough shell. Her hands trembled, but she didn't stop. When the vine finally snapped, Simi tied it to a pole so the jaguar wouldn't notice she was gone. She picked up the tortoise and ran out of the hut as fast as she could. Behind her, the Jaguar Lord roared in anger. His voice echoed through the forest, and the spider monkey people squealed and shouted. Simi ran deeper into the forest, carrying the tortoise in her arms. When they were far away, the tortoise said,
"You can leave me here now."
But can't you help me find my way home?
Simi asked hopefully.
"I'm sorry,"
said the tortoise.
"I only know this part of the forest."
Simi sighed and kept walking. The forest was dark and quiet, and she wished for the sun to rise. Up ahead, she heard knocking.
Maybe it's a woodcutter.
She thought. But when she got closer, she saw it was only a woodpecker tapping on a tree.
Oh, I wish you were human.
Simi said with a sigh. In a small clearing, she spotted a tinamou bird fluffing its feathers.
You look so soft.
She whispered.
I wish I could sleep under you.
But the bird flew away, and Simi was left feeling lonelier than ever. Finally, Simi came to a giant kapok tree. Too tired to go on, she curled up at its roots and fell into a deep sleep. When Simi woke up, the first rays of sunlight were shining through the trees. She was surrounded by animals, a toucan, a macaw, a capybara, and an iguana. They stared at her with curious eyes.
What is a human doing so deep in the rainforest?
They whispered to each other. A blue morpher butterfly, large and beautiful, fluttered into the clearing. It landed gently beside Simi.
Forgive us for waking you,
said the butterfly.
How did you get here?
Simi explained everything: the golden fruits, the spider monkeys, and the Jaguar Lord.
It's all my own fault.
Said Simi glumly.
I wandered into the forest and got lost, and the spider monkeys tricked me, and then the Jaguar Lord wanted to eat me. I just want to go home.
The butterfly's wings shimmered in the sunlight.
I know where the pineapples grow. Your home is just across the river.
But I can't cross the river.
Simi said.
It's too wide and fast.
Magical things happen in the rainforest.
Said the butterfly.
Touch my wing and I'll help you.
Simi touched the butterfly's wing, and in an instant, she turned into a bright red dragonfly.
Follow me,
said the butterfly, and together they soared into the sky. Simi felt the wind on her wings as they flew over the towering trees. When they reached the river, the butterfly said,
Stay high above the water.
They flew over the rushing Amazon, and soon Simi saw her family's pineapple farm below. They landed on the first pineapple plant. The butterfly touched Simi's wing, and she turned back into a girl.
Thank you for helping me,
said Simi.
You can come and sip on our pineapples anytime.
From that day on, the magic butterfly often visited Simi's farm. Simi never forgot how amazing it felt to fly, and she always stayed close to her parents' farm.